Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the So I Heard podcast. If you guys are new to this, I'm KD. Hopefully you guys are having a great one. We are in the year 2022. This is the first podcast of the year. And like every year, I am excited to see what the year is going to bring. It's something like a marker for people, like for their new, I guess, way to reinvent themselves in some sort of way. Of course, like we have the resolutions, and in a couple of episodes, I was really talking about some of the resolutions for this year. And I was walking around today, and I was thinking, I was like, "Yo, like I really want to meet all of these resolutions, or everything that I said I wanted to do in this year. I want to actually get there and accomplish these things. I guess like more so like goals or something like that." But yeah, like I was walking around and I was thinking, like, I was like, damn, dude, I really want to be like more fit. And that was one of my resolutions to, eat better and exercise more and really get to this fit level that I want to be at. And of course, this is probably one of the most common things that people talk about, every single year. We're going to hit the gym. We're going to do more and more and more and more. I believe I did start exercising a little bit more, but I really want to get into it and really want to reach that goal. You know what I mean? Right now, dude, I don't know. I think, the last time I weighed myself was a little while ago. And I was still at like 260, I guess, and I'm 6'2". So, you can see it, but you can't really see how much, I really weigh. But I would want to get back down to, I was saying like 220, but then again, I think I can lower it and maybe get to like in between 210 and 220, right? And I haven't been that way in so long, you know what I mean? And I think I can get there, really cut back, cut down my body fat, and then, just doing like a whole bunch of cardio, jump rope or whatever. And I also do the VR boxing on my Oculus Quest. So that's something else too that kind of helps. And I've been tracking stuff more on my Apple Watch and just everything to kind of like monitor. Right now, I have it on a goal for every day to burn 700 calories. And most days I've been making it there. You know what I mean? I've had a couple of days where it was like I was just relaxing and I was at the house and you're not really walking around as much. You know what I mean? But most of the time I am getting that calorie goal. And of course I can always alter it and raise it or whatever. And that's what I will be doing once I start exercising more. So with that being one of my goals, I was like, man, like it takes time. It takes dedication. Another thing I was thinking about, like I follow The Rock, and you probably see The Rock, Dwayne Johnson on like everything. He's everywhere. He's one of the biggest stars in the world. And I used to follow him on Twitter. I think I still might. I'm not sure. But yeah, he used to get up so early. I would see his tweets early in the morning. Me being up late, and doing my streams for my games or something like that. And he's getting up and he's about to go exercise. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm just like, dude, The Rock is busy. And if The Rock can get up at 4 a.m. every fucking day and do these exercises and then still go do all the other, business stuff that he has to do, it's like, man, he's really making time for it. And at the end of the day, it's like, dude, we all have the same 24 hours. So thinking about it, I was like, dude, if The Rock can do that with his schedule, and this is what I was thinking earlier, and I was like, damn, I really shouldn't have any excuses. You know what I mean? Like I'm with a gym that stays open 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can do it whenever. Or like I said, I have my VR boxing stuff that I can do whenever. And it's just about like making time, dude. I'm telling you, I said this in damn, it was like maybe a couple of weeks ago on the podcast episode. And I was just like, dude, life really does become so much about balancing so much. You know, when you're a teen, you don't really think about that. You don't think about how much you really have to balance life, you know, just trying to make time for so many things, but then still at the same time, I guess have this like happiness with yourself as far as like being able to enjoy the stuff that you want to enjoy. Like, I guess your leisure time, you know, and but still being dedicated to stuff that'll make you better, whether it's your career, whether it's fitness goals, whether it's being a parent or just anything like that. So you have to have that balance and you have to have that discipline. And that's something that I really want to raise in myself this year is becoming more disciplined. You know what I mean? Like drinking. I don't really want to drink anymore. Like it seems like almost every single time now after I drink or have like a night where we're having drinks and stuff, the next day I'm just really like, why did I do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was the reason? Like, you know what I'm like, it's just, you know, yeah, you do have a good time having drinks. It kind of, you know, unwind you a little bit more or, you know, but it's not like I'm drinking to escape problems or something. Like I'm like depressed or anything like that. So now it's really just like, yeah, like why do I need to drink? Like I don't need to drink. And that brings me back to another topic that I was talking about in a previous podcast episode, talking about back in the day before I was drinking alcohol, how I used to still go out and have a lot of fun. So it can't even be like, yo, just because I want to have fun, I'm going to have drinks. You know what I'm saying? There's a YouTuber that I follow, and you guys might know who he is if you guys watch YouTube. He's been around for so long. His name is Fuzi. And I follow Fuzi, and I see videos that he posts and everything. And he started being on this fitness journey thing. He started, 2021. He went to rehab. He stopped smoking, weed and vape pens and stuff. And, he stopped drinking and everything. And he was saying that on New Year's Eve, he was like, tonight, don't feel pressure to drink to have a good time. And I was like, dude, that's true. Like, and yeah, I had some drinks on New Year's Eve, but I didn't feel pressured. Of course, I made these decisions. But yeah, I think in a way it gets to your mind after you start drinking, like, yo, this is fun. This is what comes with having a good time. So you think you always have to have that combination when in reality you don't. Like, when I was younger, it was like, yeah, definitely that made the mood like super turned up or whatever. But like now, really, after having a night of drinking, I'm just like, I low-key wasted money on buying that bottle. And then at the same time, I'm really sitting there thinking like, dude, I just feel tired. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm drunk and I'm passing out, but it's just like, you have those drinks and then the next day you don't feel 100%. Like you feel a little sluggish, way more sluggish than if you didn't have those drinks. And I'm going to get back to that. I think a lot of my resolution stuff is me getting back to certain points that I was in life. And I mean, that just comes with the lessons, right? That comes with living, experiencing, and then, organizing things in your head of like what's best for me, you know what I mean? Or maybe I want that old feeling back, that feeling of being in shape and not feeling sluggish at certain times and just feeling like a healthier version of you. And I think a lot of people at this age get to that point. I'm 32 right now and getting to that point of feeling like, damn, I need to be better. I need to be more healthy. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like I don't have like no crazy pains or anything. It's not like I'm feeling like, oh my God, it's about to be a wrap for me. Like nothing like that. It's just like, dude, just to be a better version of myself. And that's mainly what these resolutions normally are. But like still, I've been thinking about this for so long. And that's why I really did start doing the VR boxing. And I was losing weight with that also. But yeah, that's why I'm saying I could just keep all of this going, but get way more intense with it and get to a point where I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting closer and closer to that goal. And just feeling great about it. I mean, if you guys are listening, I'm sure you guys, like I said, this is one of the most common resolutions is to get fit, eat more healthy, and all that different type of stuff. And I really want you guys to reach those goals. So if you guys are listening and you guys want to feel motivated, I know that it's not easy to do that. You know what I mean? One thing that's lucky for me is I love exercising. Like when I go to the gym, I don't have a point where it's like I'm just feeling like like once I'm in the gym, even if I'm like dead tired, once I get to the gym and I'm there, I'm exercising. I'm not just giving up or whatever. Like, to be honest, and this might be too much information, the only times that I really leave the gym like earlier than expected is like my stomach starts bubbling, bro. And don't tell me y'all ain't never had that feeling in the fucking gym, dude. You're in the gym, you've been eating all day. I used to go to the gym right after work. So it's like I was eating my lunch or whatever. I'm just kind of like, chilling at the desk and everything. So then when I go to the gym after work, shit is starting to be like, all right, your stomach start talking, you on the treadmill and you might slip a silent one out, people walking behind you just getting hit in the face. I mean, that's nasty, but bro, I know what's going on, bro. I've literally seen people taking shits at the gym. You know what I'm saying? So, those are moments where I'm just like, yo, all right, cool. Maybe I'll just come back, another day. But I normally go pretty hard in the gym. And not like trying to brag or nothing, but it's like, I'm just saying that's why I will feel like it would be a little bit easier for me. I know that some people just aren't really into, if you really want to get into a good shape, you have to bust out that cardio. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about that too, of like organizing stuff. Like, yeah, I could lift right now, but that's not really going to be the best thing. Like, I want to lower my body fat, so I'm going to have to do that cardio and not eat that much. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it depends on what you're eating also. But yeah, so just I want to get to that point, and for the people that are doing the same thing and want to reach that goal, like, man, just really try to stay focused, really try to stay on it, really get determined. And that should be the main goal. Like, get that determination and also get that strong feeling that you need to get to this point. Sometimes I really feel like oh, I'll just have so much more time. Like, yeah, I don't really have to go that hard at it. And it's like, I don't put caps on shit. You know what I mean? Some people put that deadline on it. It's like, I want it done by then. I normally don't do that. And I think that might be like a bad thing by not putting a cap on it or whatever. Actually, dude, thinking about that, I think that is a very bad thing, right? When people like normally ask that question of, where do you see yourself in the next such amount of years? And I'll be like, all right, certain stuff that I do want to be doing, and I'm doing it, but I'm not hitting it hard on a level that I want to be on. So I'm thinking like maybe putting a time on it, like a deadline of where I want to be at a certain successful level, that would definitely help. And people are probably like so good at, reaching goals and stuff. They're probably like, duh, like that's what you're supposed to do. Like, people, I saw somebody the other day saying that they were making their vision board for 2022 and everything that they wanted to accomplish. And I've always thought about what I've wanted to accomplish, but I've never really written it down and been like, oh, okay, cool, I have it on a piece of paper somewhere. I was just like, why would I just put it on paper? But anyway, like, some people are organized like that and really set everything out like that. And I don't know, I think a lot of times I need to try different methods to keep myself more grounded and more focused on things. And I mean, that's just a part of life, dude. It's just trying to level up and trying to become the best you, and also motivate people that you care about, You see them feeling down, you see them feeling some sort of way, they might feel like they're not accomplishing things. It's good to motivate them and try to get them on the right path as well. But then at the same time, don't be foolish and be trying to save somebody more than you're trying to save yourself. But yeah, definitely motivating people is a great thing. And that's what I want to see more of in 2022. Just everybody being focused, man. Like one thing that I've always wanted to do, and I used to do it back in the day, it was like have like a fitness class type thing. Not really an actual class, but like just have like a group of friends and we meet up on certain days and then we really get into this fitness shit. Like it's always easy to say it. And one thing that kind of stopped me from doing that type of stuff is like when I used to do it, it just fell apart. Like it was cool for like a little while and then it just fell apart. Like and not trying to just blame everybody else, but I honestly felt like it wasn't really my fault because I was the one that was really like still like, all right, so we still going. And then, other people were just kind of like, nah, not today, not today. And I get it. Like people have stuff going on. But then the bad part is you start to get comfortable after you miss that day. And then you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad missing that day. So it's like you start to miss more and more. I want to be focused on the point where I don't want any days off. And I think about that so much with this podcast. I'm like, dude, a lot of times I'm doing this podcast episode the day before I release it. And it's like that already makes me feel like I'm just like holding off to the last minute. Like I'm just procrastinating so much, but I'm still getting these episodes out no matter what. There's been points where I've literally had to record a podcast episode at like 3 a.m. and I released this podcast episode. I release my podcast episodes at 10 a.m. on Monday mornings. And it's just like, dude, I have to do it. Like, my eyes might be burning. I might have did like a gaming stream or something. And then I end up doing a podcast right afterwards. It's just, I'm trying to be so strict on not missing a day, And even the other day I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, dude, I gotta do this podcast episode. And I'm like, damn, like, it's like, it's been the holiday stuff. Like maybe I should take time off. And I was like, nah, man, I said that I wasn't going to miss any days. So that's really what I'm trying to stick to. And just make everything better, dude. And hopefully, one thing that I notice is like a lot of creative people listen to creative things, so that's why when I'm talking to you guys, the audience, I'm hoping that you guys can kind of feel what I'm saying. I'm hoping you guys can relate to what I'm saying and be like, oh, okay, I'm in the same boat. I've been there, or whatever. Because it gets to that point where it's like you just want to balance everything, you want to do everything. And I was even listening to this guy's video, watching this guy's video on YouTube, and he was kind of talking about how to reach your goals a little bit better. Sometimes I look at these type of motivational videos or whatever, and I was looking at it. He was like, how to level up basically in life, and he was talking about how he was trying to do everything at once. And I think that's sort of my problem, right? There's so many things that I want to do, and I want to do them all the time. And it's not like I'm just focusing on one thing. Like, I guess what it would be called is like putting all your eggs in one basket, right? And, of course, you see a lot of successful people that are multitasking and doing so much stuff. Some of these successful people, you don't even know about some of the other business ventures that they have until like later on. You're like, damn, they was really like working hard. And that's how I want it to be. And I always feel like I could always be going harder and really trying to attack these goals. But at the same time, I still feel like I'm doing a lot. I'm not just focusing on one thing. Like I look at like a lot of people that I know, right? They might not be into YouTube. They might not be into social media stuff, podcasting, whatever. Their main focus is I go to work. That's it. That's their life. I go to work. If they have kids or something, I go to work and I'm a parent. You know what I mean? And that's just it. Like they're not really trying to do anything outside of that. That's their life. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like if that's what you want out of your life, that's cool. But for me, that's why it's like I'm trying to do the YouTube stuff. I'm trying to do the gaming stuff. I'm trying to do the podcast. And I constantly talk about this in podcast episodes, just like how I'm really trying to just do everything. And sometimes it's like my mind is racing so much. I'm thinking of how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And then I got to go out and execute it. The podcast being a little bit easier because I just plug up my mic equipment, set it up with my computer, and then here I am talking to, the mic and talking to you guys, the audience. A little bit simpler. Video game streaming, simpler, because it's kind of like how this is. I just cut on the stream. I'm playing the game, shooting and doing like actual YouTube videos. That's a little harder because now I have to visually think in my head, how am I going to do it? Then I have to think about what things to do to kind of make a video. You want something a little bit interesting. And it's just like this puzzle piece you're placing together. You're recording, you got to figure out how to edit it and everything. So that really is time consuming. This podcast isn't that time consuming, but it's still great. Still love it. Still love to do it. I'm not going to miss these days. And I think the main thing that I do miss that I've been slacking on is creating my YouTube content, being like my main channel content. And I said this in like another podcast and also in YouTube videos. I really need to get comfortable with just recording everything, anything, just so I can come out with some type of content. Me, I'm always so hard on myself, and I'm like, I don't want to put out something that I wouldn't really watch. But then at the same time, I'm not the viewer. Some viewers want to see the day in the life stuff, even if it's you just at the house. You know what I'm saying? So I remember like when I first got into doing YouTube, like again, because I used to do it like when YouTube first came out, but then I deleted all that content. And then, when I came back, I think like this, when I started making videos, again, it was like 2017, but it was just like a couple of gaming videos. And then I got into watching vloggers and different stuff like that. And there was like a lot of people that I knew that were trying to do vlogging stuff, and they were just literally just at the house doing nothing. They're on a couch just talking, and that was the majority of what their videos were, and they were getting like views and stuff. And I was just always like, damn, but I don't want to make it seem like it's, everything is just that boring. You want something that's kind of interesting and can kind of compete with other YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it a little bit difficult, and I need to get better with that. I mean, I feel like at this point, this episode is also like another resolution video. But I just want to get to that point where I just have everything running so smooth. But the question is always, do I just focus on one way more and then kind of like sideline the other stuff? I don't know. And that's where that balance comes in. And that's when it's just like, damn, so what should I do? I don't know. I just want everything to be great. I want to reach these goals. And like I said, the fitness goal thing, I think I could just be on that. I'm not really worried about that. It's just like making sure I eat. The main thing is making sure that I eat healthy. And just keep eating healthy and not doing alcohol consumption. And I think that's the main thing that I need for the fitness stuff. Because exercising, I don't mind exercising. I'm cool with it. With the YouTube stuff, it's just like, damn, dude, I really got to get out there and just make more content. And then that's not even it for the stuff that I want to do. Like, I want to start, writing scripts more again. And then I want to start more photography stuff. And it's so much stuff that I want to do. And it's like, dude, I have this year, but then it's like, I want to build on everything all at once. But in the video that I was watching on YouTube, getting back to that, he was saying, just focus on one thing at a time. And I was just thinking, I was like, damn, but this fool's like successful. I think he has like over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And I'm like, all right. So, looking at his videos, he gets cool views. And it's like, bro, like, should I go that route? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel you can multitask also, but at the same time, you have to prioritize stuff, and maybe I'm just not good with that at this point. But yeah, just want to get better with it. But like, I think I might end up doing that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight. Maybe I will do it tonight. Like, write down goals and stuff that I really want to achieve. I need to get like some more markers for my whiteboard that I have in my room, and then I could just write those down and really like, it's something that I'm seeing pretty much every single day. So I could just look at that and be like, all right, cool. There's a reminder. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reminder right there, right in front of my eyes. And try to stick to that stuff, because I really want everything to be better. I really want to get to that level where, like I said, I'm not like depressed or anything. I'm not sitting there like hating life or feeling like, oh man, I could be at this point. Like, yeah, I'm using that to motivate myself. Like, yeah, I could be at that point, but it's not like I'm really like killing myself about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just for me to like level up and just get to a better spot. That's it. For some of you guys, it might be at that level. That level where you feel like you're just totally losing out. You're so down and out on yourself because you feel like you're just not making those right decisions. And for me, I feel like, dude, don't be that hard on yourself. I think a lot of people don't realize that so many people are going through that in life. We're all just navigating and trying to find our right way to do things, our right way to live, our right way to be successful, become successful, and just everything. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way, but I don't want people to feel down on themselves or feel like they're totally failures, like they have no time in the world to get to whatever level. You have time. You know what I mean? Think about it. And this might sound fucked up, but think about it. If you died tomorrow, would being fit even matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't really make a big difference. At that point, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, like, your mind is on other shit, not like, oh, I got to go to the gym and get these last push-ups in or bench presses in. You know what I'm saying? So you have time. You know what I mean? I think you need to really just focus on the big things that are going to matter in life to you, that are really going to bring happiness to you. You have so many people that have these insecurities in life, and I get it. It's so easy to have those insecurities, and I say it all the time. Don't compare your life to other people's lives, because you don't know what other stuff they have going on in the closet that's not seen, or you don't know that you could possibly work harder and become bigger than that person. And I'm not saying you have to make life a competition, but at the same time, if you are competing with something, compete with your past and then just get better. That's probably the best information that you can give. Compete with your past and just level up from there. And that's everything. Like, I don't ever want to be like, oh, I'm going downhill. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I want all of this stuff to keep going up. Everything that I'm doing, dude. And it's me not stopping. Like, none of this stuff I've said, oh, I'll just give up on that. I haven't said that about anything at all. It's just, yeah, I might slow down on doing that because I'm focusing on this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I just got to hit it way harder. You guys just got to hit it way harder at whatever you want to do. And just have a great 2022. I mean, I think that's like the best thing we can say is let's have a great 2022. I don't know. I feel like this year is going to be great. I just have that feeling, And Cheryl and I were kind of having the same conversation. My girlfriend Cheryl and I were having the conversation about, I keep saying leveling up, but basically that's what it is. It's like taking things to the next level as far as like stuff that we want to accomplish for ourselves. Like, she has stuff that she wants to accomplish for herself, and then I have my stuff also. And then, we're a team also, but we still have our individual things that we want to do. And yeah, we've been having conversations about that stuff. And sometimes she feels a little bit harder on herself about not doing these things. And it's just like, dude, you have to put yourself in the right mindset to even think about trying to accomplish these things or even act on these things. You know, you can't just sit there and beat yourself up. You have the thought, it starts with the thought, and then it moves to the action. And dude, there's so many times I didn't know about how anything was going to end up. I remember making my first vlog and I was just like, damn, I didn't know how that was going to be. I put it out and I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't like a lot of views or anything like that, but it's still like something that I took a step on and created and made many, many more vlogs after that, many other type of videos after that. Even with this podcast, this is episode 36, haven't missed a week. And it's like, bro, we just kept it coming out. And every single time I have this little feeling like, damn, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? How am I going to organize it? What is this going to be like? And you eventually get to that point where you're just like, all right, act. And you just want to keep acting on things and putting out more and more. So yeah, this it sounds corny to say take it day by day, but it kind of is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like one day you have the thought, you're kind of brainstorming stuff, you're putting shit together, and then, you know, you're acting on it. I mean, you can even do it in the same day, of course, you know, but still, it's just think about what you want, think about the things that you want to accomplish, and then, you know, go for it and act on it. And it's like, dude, like, even with me saying that to you guys, don't think that I have it figured out. Like, I'm doing the same thing. You know, you listened to me earlier, and I was basically saying, I don't know how to prioritize stuff that damn well. And it's just all stuff that I'm working on as well. So, you know, don't take it like I'm a some type of therapist or psychologist or anything. Like, I just know everything, or, you know, even they don't know everything. But like, still, you know, don't take it to that point. But it's just like, you know, some motivating words to keep things going. That's why I love doing these podcast episodes, because I feel like they do get to a motivating point. Well, some episodes, you know, some episodes are about different stuff, but still, that was the main thing that I wanted to do with this podcast. Talk about life, talk about lessons, talk about, you know, trying to become better and just voicing my side of things to you guys that might be able to relate. You know, yeah, I could be on here telling jokes or whatever, but like, dude, I feel like this stuff is way more meaningful and something that you guys will value more. So yeah, I love doing it. Yeah, and again, it would be cool to have like other perspectives, like other people on here, but that's why sometimes, you know, I have Cheryl on there, and, you know, she gives her side and everything. But yeah, maybe that'll be another thing for 2022. Try to get people to be on the podcast more. And honestly, my reason that I haven't really done that, and I think I might have said it in the podcast episode before, but it's like, dude, I don't like waiting on people. You know, you have some people where it's like you tell them, oh, let's do this, and then it's like they flake. That would just piss me off so much. It would. So it kind of like messes me up from doing that. Like, when it's like, all right, cool, I know I'm gonna do this podcast episode today. Somebody's like, oh, I want to be on it. And then all of a sudden, you know, talk to them later. And it's like kind of this weird thing. Because podcasting is kind of like how it is with doing YouTube. If you have somebody there that kind of really isn't into it, you're getting rid of all that footage. You're getting rid of all that part that was recorded, or you're just not going to do the project at all. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have somebody on the podcast that wants to talk, that wants to be there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with YouTube. Like, you're not just going to have somebody on camera and they're just kind of just standing. Like, no, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it would be cool to have other people on here to get like their ideas and different stuff and their sides. But yeah, that's one thing that I'm really worried about, because I've heard about it happening with like some other people where it's like, you know, even on big podcasts, they talk about that, where it's some episodes that like they recorded, but they just never put out. And then they talk about it and they're like, yeah, such got here and they just acted like they didn't want to talk. So we just canceled the episode. And it's like, dude, like it pisses you off because, one, it's time, you know what I mean? And, you just want to create something good. Like, you know what you want to do on your part, but then you have somebody else there, and it's like, I don't know how they're gonna be. You know what I mean? It's just strange. So that's what's been holding me back from trying to get guests. Like, I feel like there's so many people I could go and ask, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, I want to be actually on it, you know? But yeah, other than that, dude, leveling up is the goal. I mean, it's always the goal every damn year. That's why people make so many jokes about resolutions being jokes. But really, like, I was about to say, I hope I accomplish all of this, but at the same time, I don't even want to say I hope. I want to just be like, I will, and really stick to it. I don't need to have those days where I'm like, nah, I could just push it to another day. I need to get out of that mindset. And, you know, I have those days a cool amount of time, like I said, where I feel like I have way more time. And that always goes back to what I said earlier about setting deadlines for stuff. You know, we used to have it back in school, you know what I mean? Or you're at work, it's something you have to get accomplished by a certain time or whatever. And I think we should start doing that to ourselves. You know, maybe it's easy for you guys, but for me, I normally don't. I'll be like, yeah, I'll get it done when I get it done. You know what I'm saying? But like really setting deadlines to it, like I think that would be better, and that would keep me more committed to everything, and just have stuff a little bit more organized and you know, prioritized. And yeah, I mean, that's mainly what I want from this year, you know, as far as like for myself, you know. I wish this was a year where we could really just go and start traveling. Like, it's a lot of people still traveling, but like, you know, you have that new COVID variant and everything, and numbers are going high and all that different stuff. So I think this is just going to be another year where, you know, we're kind of going to lay low, because I feel like things are going to close back up again. So this year, I don't know about all the extra traveling and all the different stuff, because if I travel this year, especially if you know, man, I've been exercising, I'm fit and everything. Like, bro, I'm trying to show out. I'm not trying to go on a trip and be stuck in a damn room. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to do something, man. We were talking about it last year when everything was looking better. We were like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe we can hop on like a cruise or something like that. And they already said that like a whole bunch of cruises, they just cancel all of them because of the variant. And that's already out. And then there's just like, you know, traveling now, you having like, you know, they're already making rules and stuff for travelers again. So it's kind of like, yeah, I feel like shit is just going to be shut down. And I don't have a problem with it, because I really just want all of this to be over. And I understand that by, you know, quarantining and sticking to yourself and not really just going into big groups is helping. I definitely want to just continue to do that so everything is cool. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get back to as close as normal as we can, because I don't know how long this is really going to last. You know, variants just popping up and stuff. So, yeah, I just really want it to be over as soon as it can be. And I don't have a problem, you know, kind of distancing from people and stuff. But, yeah, they kind of put a damper on this year, but still, I'm going to have a lot of fun this year, man. And really, like I said, take things back to partying sober. I don't know. I'm really like nodding my head like at the end of like a Dare commercial where that kid's just like nodding his head like, yeah, dare to be different. Like, dude, for real. Like, I don't know. Like, man, like I'm excited. At the same, you know, I'm excited, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I really hope I stick to everything. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like totally cut out alcohol. I think like maybe like a couple of beers every once in a while, but I'm not trying to all that, like, you know, the nights of having multiple drinks. Like, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. You know, at least not right now. Like, I'm feeling like I really just want to be on a different level with things. And that's my main focus, my main goal and everything. And just become a better version, dude. And man, hold on. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. So it was a topic, and this has nothing to do with what we just previously talked about. But I saw it yesterday on Twitter, and I had to screenshot it. So let me get my phone real quick so we can talk about this. And I think it's interesting. I think Cheryl should have been on this one. for this question, but let's still get into it. All right. So this woman posted on Twitter, and it was just like a question, right? So it says women and women only, and it doesn't matter. It's not just women. After you hear the question, people are dating whoever. But anyway, it says women and women only. Your man tells you a female friend is coming to town. You've never met her, but you've heard him talking about her. She wants to hang out with him, and you have to work that day. What's your response? So that's the tweet, right? So there were so many women saying like, well, you have to be able to trust your man, right? He can hang out with another woman. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Guys and women can be friends, and there's nothing that goes on, right? But then you had these other women that was like, well, shit, I'm calling off for the day, and we all hanging out. Now, some women didn't mean it that way. Some of them were just like, well, if we're having fun, we're having fun. But then some women were like, nah, like, because my man ain't just going to hang out with a woman alone. And I thought about that, and I was like, okay, so here's something that was like a little bit different, right? In the beginning of this relationship, well, before Cheryl and I got together, we were talking. I was hanging out with a friend, but me and Cheryl were still talking, but we weren't like officially boyfriend and girlfriend. So I think maybe that'll make it a little bit different because it says your man. So anyway, we were talking, and then I had a friend, and then we were chilling and stuff, but it wasn't anything going on like that. You know what I mean? We were just chilling. Wasn't nothing like that going on. And later, like, some messy stuff happened, and I stopped talking to that friend. But it was cool. It wasn't like an issue or anything. It was just like nothing going on. It was just like, oh, having fun. You know what I mean? Like going out to eat or something like that. And that was it. It wasn't, or hanging out, drinks or whatever. And it wasn't like nothing like that. So I feel like it can definitely happen, right? Men and women can be friends for sure. And I think it's kind of stupid to think that they can't be without anything happening. But coming from my last relationship where it was like kind of said like, oh, well, you can have your homegirls and stuff like that. You can hang out with your homegirls. But as soon as it's like, it was like this. Oh, yeah, you can go hang out with your homegirls. And that's not it. It's like, oh, yeah, you can go on and hang out with your homegirls, but I'm going to start hanging out with dudes. And it's just like, whoa, hey, why you even have to throw that in there? Like, now I feel like you're going to be messy just because. And now you're just going to be assuming everything. And then you're going to go out and do some stupid shit. Like, that's how a lot of women were saying. A lot of women were also saying that. They were like, yeah, if he goes out with his homegirl, I'm immediately going out with my homeboy. And then one dude like responded to this one comment that the girl, when the woman said that, like I'm gonna just go out with my homeboy. He was like, nah. He was like, don't go out and just be messy just because I'm out with my homegirl. Like, if y'all really cool like that, then that's cool. But don't go out just to be messy, like to kind of, on some revenge type stuff, So, I was really thinking about that, and I was like, yo, that's such a good question. And when I saw that, I was like, dude, you're getting so many different answers. Like, you're getting a lot of women that are saying, like, you're immature if you constantly think that, like, your man is going to be cheating. And if your man is cheating, then y'all don't need to be together anyway. And that's what these women were saying that were, saying, like, that's what real women do. Real women realize that your guy isn't just going to know men. He's going to know other women and different stuff like that. But for me, like, I'll say it this way. Like, in recent years, well, not even recent years, like, my last relationship was almost 5 years. And I wasn't going out hanging out with women. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't. And then in this relationship, since I've been in this relationship, I haven't gone out and just hung out with another woman like that. You know what I'm saying? And do I have a lot of homegirls? Like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? They be going to parties, bars, all kind of shit. Like, I've been invited to stuff, but like, I just don't want to step on no toes. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've been playing it safe, but I still think that they could be friends. Definitely. But I think we're at a level now where we see all the cheating stuff everywhere. There's songs about cheating. Like, there's songs about people getting cheated on, and there's songs about people doing the cheating. You know what I mean? You're getting it from everywhere. There's all of these reality shows where it's like those are some of the biggest topics, and you're just seeing it everywhere, and that has people in this paranoid state that they can't trust anybody. You want to see some crazy shit, go to Twitter, make a Twitter account, follow some people, and you're going to hear like some of the craziest tweets. Like, you're going to see so many different personalities on Twitter, to the point where, like I said in the beginning, like the first couple of episodes of this podcast, I was saying a lot of the content I was getting at that time was from me seeing the way that people were posting on Twitter. And it was just like so much stuff that people are saying, like, you have some people that are agreeing with certain stuff, like that are feeling one way, and then you have, it's the constant battle and argument. Like, even me reading that tweet, that could have been me just replying with the tweet, but I chose to use this on the podcast. And yeah, I mean, the lady that posted it, she didn't say what her side was, but it was just everybody, in the replies, just like adding their comments. And really surprisingly, it was a lot of women that were saying that they're cool with it. But then at the same time, like I said, that's what made me think, are y'all really cool with it? Because I was told in my last relationship that she was cool with me hanging out with homegirls, but then she would make certain remarks like, yeah, but if you do this and this and this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? To the point where it was just like, what the fuck? Like, and yeah, I don't know. And then even being times where it was like being invited to stuff and it's like, yo, you want to go? And then it's like, nah. And then it's like, oh, okay, but you're there, so it ain't like anything, it could happen. But it was still like, just like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not just trying to like go back on, talking about that relationship, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff that was going on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of women will say, yeah, but then they will end up doing like some petty shit. And not just women. I could see guys doing that also. You feel me? And it was such a good question, and it could bring up a long conversation if you had people, talking. If you guys are listening right now and, you heard the question, then definitely talk about it with your friends and see how they feel, because it was like so many different things. And like, the tweet originally, in the beginning, it says women and women only. So it was just so many women replying. And, I think for the answer that showed up the least was like women basically saying like, no, I'm calling off and we're all going. I saw that like a few times. Out of everybody, it was only one lady that I saw that said no, straight up, like, no, my dude's not chilling with a woman one-on-one just by themselves. And yeah, the other women were basically saying like, no, they're fine with it. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, this a guy even replied and said, they was like, man, it's too weird that y'all are all saying that y'all are fine with it. Because like, dude, I ain't lying. And ladies, I'm not trying to attack y'all or nothing like that. But sometimes you guys do some wishy-washy stuff. You'll say one thing and then you'll still catch the attitude for that one thing, right? So here's an example, right? Years ago, there was a party that I went to. I took an Uber to that party. It was a homegirl's party. She's in a relationship, everything. And she had it with like some friends. It was like at a hotel, a whole bunch of people. They're in every room. They're in the bedroom. You know what I mean? But they're not in the bedroom like laid up like people are having sex. Like, no, it's like they're in the living room portion. They're in the bedroom. Like the party, all the doors were open. Like everybody's just partying in every single room, right? So I hadn't seen this friend in a long time. And normally when she was inviting me to stuff, I wasn't going to it. Most of the time it was because I worked those days or something, right? So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to this party. Invited my girl at the time to that party. She couldn't go. I think she said she wasn't feeling good or something. I was like, yo, I already told her I'm going to this party. So I was like, I'm going to still go. You know what I mean? Was talking to her. No. Wasn't talking to her on the way up there because I was talking to the driver. Get up there. find where the hotel is. You know, I even step out of the party and then call her on the phone to make sure she's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you good? You know, you feeling better, whatever. Stayed outside and was just talking to her for like a few minutes or whatever. Came back to the party. I got to the party and didn't even realize at first almost everybody is coupled up. And I was just like, damn, I feel like the loner, but my girl's at the house, you know? So I was really just like, damn. Long story short, it was played like everything was cool. Oh, have a good time and this, and this. Later on, it gets brought up. Oh, you went to a party, now I get to go out. And it was just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just weird. Like, why do you feel like you have to get like a party revenge or something? Like, I don't understand it. It's just like, dude, you said it was cool. I went there. I even called you, stepped out of the party for like, dude, I don't even know how long. And I'm on the phone with you, talking to you and everything. Just, you know, telling you how the party's going, all this different stuff. Yeah, people say hi or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, later on, it's like, yeah, and I still can't believe you went to that party. It was just like, what? Like, how? Where did that come from? Don't say you're cool with it if you're not cool with it. Don't pretend just to seem cool in the beginning and you're not really cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So that made me really think like, I think some of these ladies are lying. I don't know. I don't want to sit there and just say that. You know, honestly, some of these women are not probably, but definitely are mature and can handle that and realize what reality is. You're going to know men and women. You know what I'm saying? And that just is what it is. You're going to build connections with both. You're going to be close with both. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest, dude, like me, if somebody looked at my DMs, somebody that doesn't know me, doesn't know the situations, nothing. If you look at my DMs on social media, it'll be like a couple of dudes and the rest are just women. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. Most of the time it's like memes. It's like somebody replying to like my Instagram story or something like that, or I'm replying to theirs or something like that. You know what I mean? It's never anything crazy or nothing like that, you know? And people will look at that and be like, oh man, he definitely out here doing all this kind of wild shit. And it's like, dude, really? No. Reality is what it is. You're going to build friends on both sides. And I feel like if you're a person that doesn't understand that, you don't need to be in a relationship until you get to a point where you do understand what reality is. You know what I mean? If you're sitting here trying to put a cap on everything that a person does, you don't need to be in a relationship. If you're trying to just run that like that, you don't need to be in a relationship. You know, if you have those trust issues, you might have been hurt in the past or something like that. Now it's you should have never agreed to be in a relationship. And that's real. So that was my answer, even though it said women and women only to answer. But I was still saying like, yo, that's what it is. Especially like I remember having relationships before my last one. And they were going to parties. It was dudes there that they knew. I was hanging out with my friends. They were hanging out with their friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it was. And everything was cool. True, back then I was doing dirt. But like still, that was just because that's how my mind was working at that time. But still, you know what I mean? Like I have a lot of homegirls and nothing happens. Nothing has ever happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's not saying like, oh, everybody has this hidden agenda, you know. Normally, for me, if I get invited somewhere, I normally do invite my girl. I'm definitely going to say it. You know, I get invited somewhere. Hey, such invited me somewhere, like you want to roll too? You know what I'm saying? Always throw out the invite, you know. And it's not just to be like, oh, I don't want to seem sneaky. It's just like, yo, like, it just seem like it might be something fun. You know, they have that saying, don't bring sand to the beach. I'm always trying to bring my sand to the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you were getting the invite, you know. But if it isn't that way, then, you know, don't sit there and fake it and be like, oh, yeah, I'm cool with it. And then next thing you know, you're bringing it up months later. Like, I still can't believe you hung out with that hoe. Like, whoa, excuse me? Like, you said it was perfectly fine. Like, you lucky that I didn't save the text message. Even if I did, you probably still say I was wrong. But but yeah, man, like I honestly feel like there is this real difference between people in relationships, dude. And you know, it always goes back to a certain reason. Like I said, some people have been done wrong in life, so they don't trust like that. Or here's the one that kills it for me. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about them. And it's like, bro, we both have to fuck with each other. Like, if a girl comes on to me, which girls have flirted with me before, girls have approached me and said stuff, and I'd just be like, nah, I got a girlfriend. And then that's it. We part ways. It ain't nothing else. You feel me? So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's crazy, like how it's like people are always thinking that it's always going to be that way. But then, I don't know their history. I don't know what they've been through. But yeah, it was funny seeing the comments, seeing the back and forth. The women that were calling themselves the mature women, realizing, the reality of things. They were like, yeah, these other girls are just immature and they can't handle shit or whatever. And I just thought it was so funny because that is one of those good Twitter posts that really just has like a shit ton of replies and everybody's replying, and you're just seeing so many different type of answers and seeing different ways that people think, and it makes it interesting as hell. I don't know, man. I thought it would have been cool to have Cheryl on here, but I don't think Cheryl's answer would have been something crazy. You know what I mean? I don't think, she get down like that. I haven't noticed it, but not yet. Next thing you know, I'm sleeping in bed. She got a knife in my neck. Like, where you think you going tomorrow? Baby, you said it was good. But, yeah, man, dude. I love doing this episode. I feel like I talked about so much stuff, man. Really talking about those goals and how to prioritize stuff and, buckle down more and be more focused. That was something very interesting. Just, sometimes getting those words out there and hearing them yourself, it kind of opens things up for you. Thinking about it, just in silence and everything, you're like, yeah, you'll think about it, thought of past, but like really listening to it and hearing it out loud, it's like, you're like, yeah, I need to get that done. So for real, for me, the fitness stuff, that's going to be coming, dude. And then, just trying to level up with everything else. And I'm going to write down goals and when I want a lot of this stuff completed, because I need to start putting time limits on this stuff so I can be more, focused on it. Do the same thing, you guys. If you want to be more focused, maybe write it down. The reason I bought the whiteboard at my house was because that's how I wanted it. I wanted it for, like, that's what I wanted it for, was to have goals and stuff. And I just never really, like, I put some up there before, but then erased them. And then, like, I want to get back into it and really be focused on it and know what I want out of this year, dude. We got to know what we want out of this year and really stick to it. And that's just like some motivational words. Like, I'm working on it with you guys, so let's get to it. But yeah, man, leave down in the comment section if you guys are, listening on YouTube, where you can leave comments and everything. How you guys feel about any of the topics tonight. And also, follow all of my socials. Leave that stuff down below in the description section for YouTube, for Apple Music, and all the different stuff. If you can see the description, all of my stuff is down below. And thanks for listening, man. Had so much fun doing this. Really an eye-opener, and I'm excited for this new year, man. 2022 is going to be a good one. Even with everything going on in the world, we can still make this year very, very great. So thank you for listening, man. You guys stay dope, and I will check you out later. Peace.